All right. So the other day I did US no blurry, just going for the record, no moving, without a time limit. Currently, I'm at 23,700 or so. But my narration got screwed up, so I'm back here now to re-narrate this, so you can see this attempt to break the record. So we had 4th Street there. I know I've had this location before, and I was trying to figure out. I knew there was a clue to figure out where it was, and so I was looking around City Park. It's Veterans Memorial, but there it is. It's Shelton. The way it looks, the way that I had it before, um, it came to my mind at some point that it was Nebraska. I was trying to find a license plate to confirm because I figured Shelton, Nebraska, not a famous town, and I didn't quite know how I would be able to get it. That almost looks like an alligator there on that sign, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't know of any Nebraska alligators. But it's a small town with a park. We saw the street signs. If you can just figure out where the town is, this is one you can get as a 5K. Still looking for license plates here. Trying to figure out where that Shelton is. Racking my brain. Eventually, I do come to believe, which turns out correctly, that this is very likely Nebraska. So at some point, I'm going to go to the map. And give up on this license plate thing and just try to look for it. This is one of those that when you don't have a time limit, I tend to be one of these people who just takes all the time. So now we're coming into the map. I'm pretty sure it's Nebraska. I'm looking around for it. If I recall, it's along I-80. So I kind of search around for a little bit. I know it's a small town. I'm looking to see if that at this level of depth that you can actually see it. The cat there is my cat Patrick. He's joined me for this. He may have some comments that come along as well if you can hear him. But I'm now searching all around Nebraska. I figure it's not western Nebraska. It's much too flat, and it gets pretty hilly when you get out west. At some point, I remember that I think it's along I-80, and there it is. Not quite on I-80, but kind of along that way. Shelton comes in. There's the park. Just got to verify which corner of the park you're on. I know I'm on 4th Street. Cody is not what I thought the sign said, but it's close enough to what the sign looks like. And given all of the other directional things, there is Cody. There's the park. There's 4th. I'm on this corner. So always good when you're trying to do the no move or any game to come up with a 5K. Next, we are looking. That license plate is pretty firmly Arizona. But of course, you can be anywhere in Arizona. And so even though the license plates confirm that, it's kind of hard to tell. There's a few mountains off there to the west. But that also doesn't give you a whole lot of clue. In Arizona, there's some palm trees, which does mean you're probably southern, but there's palm trees in Phoenix, and it's really just three quarters of the state. Now I'm starting to look at those trash cans, and it certainly looks like it says Douglas to me, and I know Douglas, Arizona is a place. I don't know offhand exactly where Douglas, Arizona is, and so I am trying to rack my brain and remember. Do I know where Douglas is? And now I'm going back and forth saying, does that really say Douglas? Does it not say Douglas? These are the things that go through your head when we're trying to really take your time and do this well. I'm very confident at this point that this is Arizona. I'm just really struggling with how do I figure out exactly where we are. I'm hoping like maybe there's an Arizona or an Arizona state sign somewhere that'll give me an area. So now I was like, well, we just got to go in. Is this suburban Tucson? Is this suburban Phoenix? So we go right into Tucson, looking around for Douglas. Don't see any Douglases. Douglas. Going closer. Is it a neighborhood? I know we're probably not too close into the cities, but the way that these desert cities are constructed, you get into the outskirts and it looks pretty rural. So now I'm looking in the Phoenix area. Is there a Douglas around here? So we pull back. And we double check. Does this really say Douglas? I didn't see it in either of the two major cities. Does it really say Douglas? And I think, yeah, it does. It seems almost positive that that says Douglas. So now what do? We got to look at Flagstaff and Prescott and some of these other smaller areas. Is there a Douglas around there? Yuma. Um, is it up in the reservation land up here? Is it over by the Grand Canyon? Is it who knows where? Doesn't seem to be around Flagstaff, which makes sense because, it's awfully flat. The mountains in the distance definitely signify probably farther south. So now I am looking all around and just cannot find this thing. It's not the sort of thing where you want to just zoom anywhere, because if it's small enough in Arizona, you're going to have to zoom in awfully close to find it. And so, yeah, here now we're going up to this is Yuma, right over here. And don't see anything along there. Is it along the highway? Pretty convinced it's somewhere down in the south here. But, really just what else do you have to do but take time and look for Douglas? When you're, convinced that it's on the trash can, like I am, and you're positive that Douglas, Arizona is a place that exists, racking the brain here, trying to figure out where to go next, where to look, whether I just guess, someplace in Phoenix or Tucson. Starting to look in the corners now and just zoom in and see what we can find. And there's Douglas. It pops up. This is where you get desperate. I got very lucky that I started in the southeast corner there. If I'd started in, northwest or whatever, I would have had to zoom in quite a ways and look all over the place. Now I'm trying to see, I found Douglas. Do I know what street I'm on? It's right along the border, so we kind of know that there's only so many streets it can be. This thing has a flag out front. It looks like a shop, but you can't tell what kind of shop. Can't see any of the street signs, so we know it's got to be along here somewhere. And now it's just a matter of, can I figure out where that little shop with the American flag is? Can I make a good guess at the road? I'm 3 or 4 blocks in from whatever that main road is off to the west. There's nothing on any of those signs that you can see. What is that? There's a restaurant there that probably isn't it. There's a Arizona Department of something or other. There's churches. You're just trying to find a block that maybe has the little shore on it, that's in the right spot. I can tell there's letter streets, but I can't tell what the letters are. You're trying to guess based on the shape and the width of those letters. Where is it? Now we're more than halfway through this video at this point. We're only on location number 2. Thankfully, as you can tell, the rest of them go a little bit quicker. And so now it's just a matter of deciding where do these houses look like. This looks like a residential street. Turns out I was a couple of blocks away, but still 4,996 points. I will take it. That little restaurant, shop, whatever it was, didn't appear to be there at all. So now you're saying, wow, 9,996 after 2 locations. We can totally get this. We're in a more urban, suburban area. I feel like I should be able to get this from the license plates. I'm never that good at doing the sort of white tinged license plates. This one, for some reason, to me says Massachusetts. That turns out to be wrong, spoiler alert. But the white with the red lettering at the top, there are a couple states like that. Another one being the state that it ends up being, and we'll save that for a little bit later. But I'm trying to judge by the types of houses, and these things are perfectly placed in New England. I thought one of the license plates looked like New Hampshire. And so when there was a lot of things that looked like Massachusetts, when there was one that looked quite a bit like New Hampshire, I thought potentially, Northern Mass would be the place to go. You can't see any of the road signs. One thing I do pick up on some point is I think we see 2 different Puerto Rican flags. And obviously there are a lot of people of Puerto Rican descent all over the United States, but certainly Massachusetts is a place where that could be possible. The trees don't quite look right for most of Massachusetts, but certainly if it's up, Fitchburg or Lowell or one of those places that's kind of up closer to the New Hampshire border, it's definitely things I could believe. I was trying to remember whether they called them speed humps in New England or not. That's kind of maybe one indication that I was in the wrong place. I didn't see any of those other clues, in terms of sports symbols, just that there's one of the Puerto Rican flags there. That's the second one I had seen. And without other kinds of flags and signs and markers indicating where we were, I made a guess at northern Massachusetts. We'll get there pretty quick, I think. And turns out that we are not at all in northern Massachusetts. We'll have to see. We head to the map. I decide Lowell, Fitchburg, one of these northern Massachusetts towns could definitely be where we're at. So I probably should have gone with someplace like Fitchburg. Lowell, the streets just don't look right for where we are. There's a little bit of a rolling hill out there at the end of that street you can see. And so I probably should have picked a different town. Fitchburg might have made a little more sense given where I was going with my clues. And it turns out we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's another state with white that has some red lettering along the top of their license plates. And this is where I have lost my chance at my record. 23,700 points is very safe. But I had those two good ones at the beginning. And I don't like to leave games unplayed. So I decided to go in. This, clearly Southwest. There's a lot of yellowy license plate. That one looked a little bit like Alabama, but clearly we're not in Alabama. Can't tell anything from the trash cans, but we've got these very distinctive yellow New Mexico plates there. So then you really just got to decide, this looks very suburban. We can kind of get the road names, but nothing significant. Are we going Santa Fe or Albuquerque? I made the decision pretty quick, Albuquerque. Santa Fe's a lot hillier. It's a little higher at elevation. We need to just be in Albuquerque somewhere, not downtown, but probably not too far. I think it was Fringe Road or something like that. I mean, you'd just be random if you found it. And so I just picked one, and turns out it was on the opposite side of town. But there is Fringe Road up there. You can see it. 4876 is still not bad for no moving. So I'm moving on to the fifth one, and now we're in a little town that almost is immediately visible as Massachusetts. These old Massachusetts towns, just have a look to them. And so I figured I could definitely find out where it was going. That's the Massachusetts plate right there that you can see with the kind of the larger red, because the numbering is in red as well. And so we got this store, and then that says something about like Manchester by the Book, I think is the bookstore name, which Manchester by the Sea is a town in Massachusetts. And so having the bookstore called Manchester by the Book makes it pretty clear where we should start looking. So I head up here to the North Shore of Massachusetts. There's Manchester by the Sea. It's not going to be a very big town. Just got to come in and find that place, Cargo or whatever it's called. Pull in a little bit, look around a little bit. I think the Cargo is there. If not, I can zoom in pretty close here. Oh, there's Manchester by the Book. I totally missed it when I was looking at it the first time. It's right in front of your face. Just got to find it, man. So there's the Cargo. There's the Manchester by the Book. Go back to the picture just to confirm where we are in terms of direction. Plop it down. 5,000. 20,858, which is not a record, but it's a pretty good one. And this is the video I had, so it's the video you get. And hope you all enjoy. I should have some videos from the upcoming tournament ready to go here pretty soon once the first round is done with. So thanks for watching, and come back again.